another episode of the Daily Flip podcast. Today we got a little bit of a short one for you, but it's because we're diverging from what we normally do. And you'll be thinking, Alex, what do you mean diverging? Well, we're going to go back to our roots and we're going to start talking about tech. We used to do business, tech, and politics. We've gone really, really far down the rabbit hole for politics nowadays, which is fine. We love talking about politics. But today we're going to be talking about a standard. This article is going to come from Wirecutter, and it's going to talk about the new Smarthome protocol upgrades. And with that, let's actually get to our daily delight. No, I'm just kidding. Our daily debate. There is no daily delight today because it's a shorter episode. So, what in your mind is the ideal smart home? Throw it in the comment section. Love to hear. And also, I understand, once again, this is I'm turning it into a tech thing. So if you don't have one, don't need to put anything down there. I appreciate you being here. So with that, let's get to the article from Wired. Headline reads, Matter is finally ready to deliver the smart home it promised. So for anybody who's in the smart home game, a lot of devices nowadays connect over Wi-Fi, and each different device has their own protocol for receiving instructions, connecting with the internet, so on and so forth. If you are really deep into this game, I have a few friends who are, you would recognize and know what Zigbee is. It's a protocol, open source, that anybody can get a Zigbee controller, an antenna, or they can get basically a computer set up to be a controller of a Zigbee network. And this is a way for you to directly communicate with the different devices across your network that are Zigbee compatible. Well, Amazon, Samsung, Apple, and Google all came together to make their own version, one that is not just over Wi-Fi, that is not just over antennae signals, it's also over a thread network. And they want this to be a standard that is in their phones, their TVs, their Alexas, all these different smart devices. One of the first use cases was the Nanoleaf company, if you know them. They're a light company that I believe Apple fully bought. So by mid-2021, Project Chip was what they called it, had blossomed into Matter. This is part of the history section. But there was actually some trouble when Matter first came out, because you may have heard of Matter before. Quote, the trouble in those early days was that Matter didn't take the guesswork out of the equation for customers. So they were trying to have a universal symbol that they would put on these boxes, and if it had Matter on there, it would work with your home network. It's trying to make this interconnective system of smart devices easy for the average consumer, rather than the tech nerd who will sit down and say, okay, hey, well, this is Matter 1.1 and this is Matter 1.2. They won't be operable together. They wanted to have it be universal. Oh, that ended up not being the case. It's kind of like the badge that you'll see on some events that say designed for Apple or compatible with HomeKit. That little orange house that you see on some boxes at some of the Apple Store, some of the ones at Walmart. And this is meant to make everybody's life easier. Well, it kind of fell apart, but now Matter is making an upgrade. Quote, the good news is that Matter is now a much better place, both for the customer and for the company building products. As those companies push forward their own ideas of what the smart home should be with the help of AI, as Google puts Gemini in all of its places assistants used to live, as Amazon ramps up Echo's capabilities with Alexa, and Apple works out exactly what the next gen Siri looks like ahead of expected new smart home hardware releases, Matter is working to ensure it can finally make the experience of linking that all together much smoother. So much like I can say, hey Siri, do XYZ, and she just lit up. So hey, go away, don't worry about it. Sorry you had to hear that live time, but the point is you can say that phrase and then you can control the lights, because there's a bridge hub that connects to the exact same network, and they are both part of HomeKit. So when she hears that, gosh, I feel like I'm trying to avoid saying Voldemort. When she hears that, she routes the command through HomeKit, and then since the bridge that controls the lights is connected to HomeKit, it says, okay, home, Now we're going to send a command to them. Now imagine in the future with the Matter connection, it would still technically go through HomeKit, but instead of it being a Wi-Fi network thing, you might not even need the bridge itself, because the bridge is a way to connect multiple devices to the smart network through Wi-Fi. It's a way to make it unified. Well, imagine it's over a different sort of protocol called Threads. Or, and this is an example of two different products, but maybe you have a TV that's the Samsung, and you don't have any other sort of Matter hub, a place where all the commands can go. Well, you can have your Matter hub be the TV, and then all the other things connected to it. So you don't even need to have a voice assistant. You can just tell the TV to do something. You have those protocols built into there. Imagine everything else, even your smart home lock is connected there, where it's over Threads rather than Wi-Fi, so you don't have to worry about that being vulnerable to the internet. If Matter is to go forward, if Matter is to actually be successful, if it is to reach what it promised, if it is to deliver what it had promised to us, it will be a good day for smart home users. And I think you guys should go read this entire article. You may be a little, they keep it pretty simple. Honestly, I've had people who are into Zigbee. I've heard of Matter before. I understand the smart home game a tiny little baby bit, and they explained it very well here. Obviously, I leave room for my characterizations to be a little bit off, but I would go read this actual article. It'll be linked in the description below the like and subscribe button. Also down there, you can find the podcast on Spotify, Podcast, Podvine, as well as the Twitter handle at your DailyFlip, where I post links to these episodes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the 6 and 6 podcast on Tuesday and Thursday, which is all about international news. It's supposed to be 6 stories from around the world in 6 minutes or less. So, with all that said, there's only one more thing to say. Stay safe. Don't die.